Hey everyone, welcome back to The Shy Entrepreneur. Today I want to take you behind the scenes of something most people never get to see. What working in the insurance world taught me about money, people, and the financial habits that actually matter. I've worked in insurance long enough to talk to hundreds of people, stressed people, prepared people, overwhelmed people, and people who thought they had everything under control until life proved them wrong. And through all of those stories, one thing became clear to me. Most people have no idea how fragile their financial situation really is until something happens. So today, I want to share the lessons I learned inside the industry. Lessons that completely changed the way I think about money, planning, and responsibility. And honestly, I wish I knew these things sooner. Let's get started. The first thing I learned is that most people think they're more prepared than they actually are. People would call in believing their situation was simple, manageable, or not that bad. Until we started going through the details. One small accident, one unexpected bill, one storm, one claim. And suddenly someone who thought they were fine was completely overwhelmed. And what surprised me the most wasn't that emergencies happened. It was how fast the lack of preparation exposed everything. A simple $500 emergency could send someone into panic mode. A missed payment from months ago would come back to hurt them. A deductible they forgot about suddenly became a huge deal. Working in insurance taught me that your financial stability isn't measured when things are going right. It's measured when things go wrong. And for most people, that's the moment they realize they weren't prepared at all. The second lesson is something I never expected. Insurance quietly reveals your entire financial life. I could immediately tell who was organized and who wasn't. Not because of their personality, but because of the way they handled even the simplest questions. Some people had everything ready: documents, dates, receipts, policy numbers. Others panicked, searched for things last minute, or didn't know anything about what they were paying for. And it made me realize something bigger. Your habits with money follow you everywhere. If you're organized with your bills, you'll be organized during a crisis. If you avoid money conversations, you'll avoid them when it matters most. If you're proactive in daily life, you'll be proactive when something goes wrong. It wasn't about income, it wasn't about age. It was about habits. The quiet, everyday financial habits that nobody sees but that predict everything. The third thing I learned is that people hate paying for insurance until the moment they need it. Insurance is one of the few things you pay for without actually wanting to use it. People complain about premiums every single month. They feel like it's just money disappearing for no reason. But the moment something bad happens, everything changes. The people who were annoyed by their insurance bills suddenly became grateful they even had coverage. The people who didn't want to spend a few dollars a month ended up paying thousands out of pocket. And the people who ignored their coverage ended up facing the biggest shocks. Working behind the scenes made me realize insurance isn't about fear. It's about responsibility. It's about protecting your future self from problems you can't predict today. It's not fun, it's not glamorous, but it's the thing that prevents one bad moment from becoming a long-term financial disaster. The fourth lesson is one that cost people the most money. Most people don't understand what they're buying. And honestly, the system works exactly because of that. People skim their policies, pick the cheapest option, choose whatever price looks good, and never ask questions. So when something happens and they're not covered, they feel blindsided. But it wasn't that they were cheated. It was that no one ever taught them how to understand the basics. I saw people paying for things they didn't need and skipping the things they absolutely did need. I saw people with deductibles they couldn't afford. I saw people who hadn't reviewed their policy in years but still expected it to magically fit their situation. One thing I realized, the most expensive mistake you can make is not understanding your own financial decisions. You don't need to be an expert, but you do need to ask questions. The fifth lesson is probably the most important. Your biggest financial risk isn't losing your job or getting sick or facing an emergency. Your biggest financial risk is not having a plan, because emergencies don't ruin people. Lack of preparation does. The people who had savings, even small savings, handled stress better. The people who had the right coverage recovered faster. The people who built simple routines, like keeping documents organized or paying bills on time, were always ahead. Your financial life doesn't have to be perfect, but it does have to be intentional. Just having a plan, even a basic one, puts you miles ahead of most people. The sixth lesson is more personal. The more people avoid talking about money, the more money ends up controlling them. I've seen people freeze up when you ask about their finances. I've seen people embarrassed to admit they don't understand something. I've seen people make the same mistakes over and over because no one ever talked about money openly in their home or community. But silence doesn't protect you. Silence creates confusion. Silence leads to bills you didn't expect and decisions you weren't ready for. Learning this changed how I think about money entirely. Asking questions isn't embarrassing. Not asking them is what becomes expensive. And the last lesson I'll share is this: no matter where you start financially, you can always learn, grow, and build better habits. I've spoken to young people with no experience who were financially smart because they asked questions. I've spoken to older people who said they wished they learned things sooner but were still improving step by step. I've seen people come from backgrounds where money was never discussed, yet they still found their way. Your past doesn't decide how good you can become with money. Your willingness to learn does. And honestly, that's something we don't hear enough. Thank you for watching The Shy Entrepreneur. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more calm, simple videos that help you build financial confidence without needing to be in the spotlight. I'll see you in the next video.